Hello everyone, welcome back to my 164th Custom Farm Toy Series. We're back down in the man cave again today, and I'm going to start working on the display setup. Um, I'm not going to be able to fit as much on as I thought I would. It's basically going to be the farm site and maybe a little bit of field, and that's going to be about it, if I can even get that much on there. And so this display will probably grow in size over the years, because if I add another 8 foot, 4 by 8 foot section to the end of it, I will be able to include my house as well as my in-laws. And so that's probably a long-term goal, but and I'll need to find a different place to do it because this room isn't big enough. But that's something that would be coming in the future possibly. So anyhow, what I'm gonna do is use a website that I used in college for one of my classes, and it's called Web Soil Survey. If you go on Google or whatever and you type in Web Soil Survey, that'll bring up that website, and then you can use that website to make measurements on buildings, roads, anything like that. You have to keep in mind that the images are going to be a little bit skewed and whatnot, because just because of the way that the satellite imagery works. But I measured my father-in-law's hog barn the other day, and I got about 40 feet on the computer, and he said it's 41. So we're going to call that pretty darn accurate. And that's what I'm going to be using to do most of my setup here for my layout. For today, all I really plan on doing is drawing things out, I guess, on the styrofoam. As far as where the roads are going to be, where the buildings are going to sit, I don't think I'm going to do any terrain yet, but at some point I will have to dig some ditches and do some pretty major terrain stuff, because they do have a lot of hills in the yard. And so we'll go ahead and get started with this today and see if I can even fit the whole farm place on this 4x8 sheet, and we'll go from there. Well, YouTube, it's not perfect, but I've got my layout done. This was probably by far the most difficult thing I'll do on this whole display, because it was very tough to fit the whole farm site on a 4x8 sheet. I had to take some, let's call it creative liberties in a few spots, and we'll see how it turns out. I think everything will kind of line up decently good. I basically made sure that the important stuff was emphasized. I want to pretty heavily detail the shop, and so I wanted to make sure that that was full size the way it should be. You know, stuff like the pasture over here, it wasn't necessarily as important. I am going to do something interesting with the hog barn that I've never seen done before, and that is that this barn would be twice as long as I can fit on here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this face of it open, and I'm also going to make the pit open so you can see what it looks like in the pit of a hog barn. So that'll be challenging, but I'm looking forward to it. I am going to do the same thing with this machine shed here. This machine shed would be another 3 or 4, 5, 6 inches back, and so I'm going to leave that open as well so you can see into the machine shed. Otherwise, for the most part, things fit on decently well. Like I said, some of the stuff isn't going to be quite the same. In real life, you've got a lot more distance, for example, here between the bin and where this road edge is. We'll just have to kind of feel it out as we go if I need to change things a little bit. I have a lot of dead space in this area, which is lawn and everything like that in real life, but if I need to make the road over this way a little further and make that area bigger to make it feel right, I certainly can. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, and it really isn't that possible with the limited area that I have. If I had another 2 feet that way and another 4 feet on the long end, then I'm sure it would be a lot easier. But I wanted to keep it to a 4x8 for now, so we'll do the best we can with what we've got, and I'm really looking forward to getting started. I think the first thing I'll do is I suppose I'll have to do my terrain first, but after that, then I will probably get started on the just painting everything. Just, people, when you put your ground cover and stuff down, you want to have stuff painted before you put it on in case you have little spots. So I'll paint the grass areas green and the gravel areas brown and so on and so forth. And that'll probably be the next step that I'll do. And then we'll see, maybe I'll get into the buildings. So anywho, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'm excited to have more, so check back often.